me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. Let's go.
Hello, folks. Richard Moore, USAGSA. And today I've got Kenneth Johnson with me from Valdosta, Georgia, Lowndes County, Georgia. And he is the father of Kendrick Johnson. His teenage son was killed, murdered. This January, this upcoming January, will be 12 years. And this case has not been solved. However, this case has been looked at by federal agencies, state agencies, locals, been covered. And there's a lot in the mix, folks. And I'm going to tell you there's something, and the Johnsons know it. I know it. A whole lot of other people know it. And after we get done here, a whole bunch of other people are going to kind of get what's going on here and be able to pick up what we fix to put out. And I'm telling you, folks, it's not pretty. I've always said this, that no parent should ever have to outlive their child. And it doesn't get any easier. Whether it's 12 years, 20 years, that does not get, that is there. That's ever present situation. I'm fully aware of that. People that don't understand that may need to be sensitive to that. They look at it and say, well, you know, people just need to get over it, move on, and it is what it is. And many people do that. They don't get over it, but they move on. But I'm going to tell you, as a whole lot of other people that are like myself and like the Johnsons, and I'm going to tell you what, brother, they ain't moving on until we get it on. And that is the truth. And to have a resolution in this and to hold these criminals that are involved in his death accountable. And I'm telling you, initially, it was a small number. I don't know how small that number is, but I'm going to say a small number. And that is an ever-growing list of people that have become complicit and culpable in the cover-up of Kendrick Johnson's death. So before I jump into it, folks, sound like I already did, but I have it in the description of this video. Will be our link tree. In that link tree, that'll give you the links to our different platforms, including my Substack. And I've written extensively. I continue to write. I cover stories for victims. I let them tell their story. I tell stories of victims that have lost they're no longer with us. And I talk about these government programs. The who, what, when, where, and how, their tactics. And I always, folks, you know me good enough to know me by now that I'm going to name the names. And I'm going to tell you who's doing it and how they're doing it and so forth. I encourage you, if you're not subscribed, to subscribe. And this is the most important thing, what I'm going to say next, is share what you're seeing today. These are topics that the powers to be would like to kind of go away, but they're not going to go away. And the way we make sure it doesn't go away is you share it to your network of friends and so forth on social media. And so I've got, like I said, Kenneth, and he's over the road, big rig driver there, and up in Chicago right now. And so he's pulled over and taking the time. And I appreciate you, Kenneth. And I know that Miss Johnson, your wife, is she feeling better? She was sick yesterday or the day before.
No, yeah, she's still sick.
Is she? Well, y'all keep y'all keep this family in your prayers. I mean, this is just an attack by the evil one on every corner. So it's not hard, folks, to find a story or to find information on Kendrick, on his death, about his death. Wikipedia has a fairly good chronological order of events, if you want to look at that. And we're not going to cover it all, but the premise of this is, you stop me when I'm wrong. You jump in anytime, Kenneth. When Kendrick didn't come home, you weren't able to get in touch with him. His mother called and reported him missing. They found him the next day. Is that right?
That's correct.
And he was in the gymnasium at Lowndes High School. And they found him inside of a rolled up wrestling mat. Okay. And these things
they say they say they always put out the word wrestling mat, but it was not a wrestling mat. It was a cheerleader tumbling mat.
That's what I was going to say, a tumbling mat. I didn't, because wrestlers, I didn't think they used mats, but hey, they've changed things. Who knows? So it's a cheerleader. So it's 6 foot wide. I don't know how long it is. They've got a corner in that gym, and these things, most of them are rolled up, and they're standing end to end. Now, the narrative of that deal with the mat is other kids would throw their shoes or whatever for their PE or gym class and throw it up on top of the mats there. It don't completely make sense to me, but anyways, throwing them up there, and they claimed that was the deal with Kendrick. He'd thrown his shoes up there, okay, and one of them or both of them went down in the hole. Now, I'm just curious, what size shoe did Kendrick wear?
I think it was a 9.5 or 10.
Okay, now, so provided he didn't have a Shaquille O'Neal size foot, and his shoe goes in that hole, it has a 14-inch clearance, where would the shoe be? It would always be on the floor, right? So, now, that's the case. After you found there's several rolls there, how he figured out which roll his shoe was in. Maybe they've explained that, I don't know. But so he finds it. There's his shoe. We know the shoe's not hung up in there, so the shoe's where at the bottom. Now it seems to me, and Kendrick wasn't a special needs child. He wasn't in slow or anything. No. He was very bright individual. So what does a bright individual do? Just move the mat, tilt it about 3 or 4 inches, reach and get the shoe. No, he didn't do that. He tunnels and his 19-inch span of his shoulders and manages to contort himself and squeeze down in a 14-inch hole, and then somewhere in there, he smothered to death and died. Now, I don't know how many people just heard that, believes that. I heard it, and I said, well, we know that didn't happen. Now, I already understand this, folks. I was raised and I live in what I affectionately refer to as the Dirty South. For a whole lot of reasons, I call it the Dirty South. And for those that live here, know exactly what I'm talking about. And I said, the story, it doesn't fit in so many different ways. It don't work. Now, folks, I've always said this: whatever starts out wrong ends up wrong. When the story initially, when it started out wrong, then that set the pace for everything to follow. Now, Mr. Johnson, would you agree with that premise so far, that ever since the beginning until now, this deal has been mixed up and convoluted, and lies after lies and stories after stories, and one story conflicted another? Has it been total chaos since day one?
Day one. Maybe about 3 weeks to a month. that we was allowed into the gym.
What? They had it crime yellow tape crime scene for almost a month.
No. They had that crime scene was just one day, right? But they didn't allow us to go first. They allowed people from the community to go in and try to make them visualize and give them a narrative of what happened.
Okay.
They wanted to tamper what they
want to talk about that community. I didn't know.
They want to tap in their mind and give them a visual of what they're telling them. This is what happened, but they didn't let
that. They had people from the community come in there. This is
right.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Right. And so maybe 3 weeks to a month, maybe a little longer. They allowed the parents, investigators, and our lawyer to come into the gym. Right.
Wow.
The very first thing that we noticed, all the mats, right? All the holes were no bigger. Was that by that big around?
So they wasn't even 14 inches then.
No. To check out what I'm gonna say. Every other mat, the hole was no more than that big around, right? But they had one mat with a big hole in it. So now they trying to play with our mind. But we was too smart to fall for a dokie-doke.
Yeah.
So the question was, well, why all the other holes in the mats is the same size, but you got this one mat with a big hole? Why is that?
They don't know. What they do? Say, well, we don't know.
Yeah. And not only that, I want to let your viewers know there have been different agencies investigating this case,
including the FBI.
But the FBI, you got to understand, the FBI, the Justice Department, right? This is what the Justice Department told me, my wife, and a numerous of us sitting around at this round table up in Macon, Georgia.
Okay.
They said, Mr. Johnson, we know that this wasn't not an accident, right?
Okay.
They say, but what we can't prove is who killed him. They say we can't prove who killed him. So we can't say anything because we don't know who killed him. So it goes back. So this case got to go back to where it happened at. Right? So the locals is not going to do anything.
No.
The locals is not going to do anything. So
they've done something. They've laid the foundation of the story.
Yeah. The locals are going to stick to their story.
That's right.
But the Justice Department told us sitting at a round table that they know something happened. They know this was an accident, and they know the crime scenes were tampered with. They actually told us this.
Right.
So what we fought the Justice Department at? If y'all know that this a crime, someone tampered with the evidence. Who tampered with the evidence? Wasn't nobody there but the local authorities. So they had to be the one who tampered with the evidence.
Hard to do the math on who did it. Right.
So now why do y'all do not investigate the local authorities? Why y'all haven't done that?
Right. What'd they say?
They can't give us the answer. They said, Mr. Johnson, the only thing we know, it got to go back to the crime, got to go back to where it happened at. So it got to go back to Lowndes County. Hey, we know they ain't gonna do that. They're gonna stick to the same story. But where we got them at, we can prove that Kendrick did not die the way they say he died.
No, he didn't.
So that's where they stuck in. So that's where they stuck in.
The first autopsy said he died from asphyxiation. They found a pool of blood and vomit at the bottom of the deal, which is indicative to asphyxiation. If you're upside down or you die upside down, that's indicative of that. It's also indicative to blunt force trauma and a whole bunch of other things. Okay. So that's kind of a broad brush. And so you asked for a second autopsy. what was the time frame between the first one and the second one?
Shut. That been so long. Hell, I don't. The first, it was probably 6 months after, maybe 6 months after.
6 months. You still hadn't had a funeral yet, then?
Yeah, I had the funeral.
You had the funeral, but so you had to have his remains exhumed.
Yes, right.
Okay, folks. You see how bad this is getting? What? I mean, if it weren't bad enough, the family, his child, how old was Kendrick? 17, 18?
17.
17. Their 17-year-old son was snatched away, violently murdered. And law enforcement, is it the city, Valdosta Police Department, or Lowndes County Sheriff's Department, or both in on this initial investigation?
Let me tell you something. His body was more violated after death than it was during his death.
And that, folks, is wrong on so many different fronts. I'm telling you, when they had exhumed, and you had to pay for this second medical exam or coroner autopsy, right?
Yes. Even let me say this. Even before then, right? Not. I'm not talking about what they done after we exhumed this body.
Okay.
Right? I'm talking about before. After his death, right?
Yeah.
You take some of the pictures from the crime scene.
Oh gosh.
You take some pictures while he was laying there, while he was laying on the gym floor. You take some of those pictures and you look at those pictures. All right. He was found. Your body do not start. I'm gonna walk your viewers through this. Your body does not start to decompose within 19 hours.
Okay.
Kendrick body, people be found on the outside in the weather.
Yeah.
Body would not start decomposing that fast. Kendrick was inside a control,
right?
Inside on the inside were a controlled climate of weather.
Right.
So his body was in a good climate,
right,
area, right? So so you take the pictures from when Kendrick was on the floor. 2 days later, when I seen Kendrick, so if his body looked like this on the floor, so a day, well, I'm gonna say a day and a half. If Kendrick's body looked like this, a day and a half on the floor inside the gym, a day and a half later, how did Kendrick's body and how did his face and how did his body get into that condition? If they would have stored Kendrick properly inside the GBI crime lab, when they had him in the GBI crime lab, if they would have stored his body properly, there's no way that his body should have been looking like that, looking totally different a day and a half later. So I'm gonna tell your viewers this: when I went to see Kendrick, Kendrick was found Friday. I went to see Kendrick Sunday. They let me personally identify his body. That Sunday. It's Saturday. Saturday is that Sunday. I'm gonna say Sunday because I believe it was a Sunday.
Okay.
So that's no more. That's just 2 days, right? So I go inside this where they got the body is, right? And I noticed inside this room it's hot, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of it's pretty warm inside.
Intentionally hot.
My first.
They want his evidence destroyed for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first
law enforcement the community.
Yeah,
This group of community
yeah,
pathetics. We're gonna talk about that. Now the coroner. All right.
yeah,
Holistic approach.
yeah.
Everybody
My
do their
first,
part.
my
Go
first,
ahead.
yeah, my first train of thought as I walked in the room. My first train of thought.
If somebody's gonna get
Damn.
whooped.
I said, damn, man, it's kind of damn, you know.
That's
I
right.
started like feel like I was about to break a little sweat. I was like, damn. I said, well, maybe I'm nervous. I said, maybe I'm nervous about what I'm finna see, right?
Oh no, yeah.
And they open a drawer. As they open this drawer, when he pulls it open, a gush of hot air come out of it, just like somebody had the heat on. I'm like, damn.
This is a
damn,
morgue.
be,
This is a morgue, and it's hot. Come on.
Yeah, I'm saying in my mind. I'm saying in my mind, damn. It's supposed to be cold air come out of it, not hot air.
Did you ask them about that? Why it's so damn hot in there?
Yeah, I said, man, why? I said, it's supposed to be hot air coming out, not cold air. And I done brought this up several times to the sheriff department.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Can't nobody give me a straight. Can't nobody. I'm telling you what they tried to say one time. No. Because if it was hot in there, there was an alarm go. Man, what the hell y'all think y'all talking?
Oh, so
I'm not a fucking idiot.
The coroner tried to say that it wasn't hot in there.
Not the coroner, the investigator.
Yeah. What the coroner said.
Not the coroner. Well, I never got a response.
Thanks to ask him. Okay.
I never got. See, let me say this. The coroner, the coroner, Bill Watts. I can say this because I got proof to back it up. The coroner was talking to the lawyer that I had then. Getting him information.
How about that?
He was getting him information.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what. After I tell you this, I'm gonna tell you what the coroner told me and my wife.
So
he
no such thing as attorney-client privilege.
Yeah.
So the lawyers conspiring with the enemy. How many times?
Yeah. So
this ain't new. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my lawyer was talking to the coroner. The coroner was giving my lawyer information, right?
Wow.
Then all of a sudden, the coroner and my lawyer met up again. The coroner say, "Hey, I can't meet with you no more. I can't talk to you no more." So my lawyer said he asked the coroner, "Did they threaten you?" He said, "Man, you just don't know how they threatened."
How did they threaten you?
But he said, "But I can't." He said, "I can't talk to you no more."
Okay, folks, let me tell you. No, hold 1 second, Mr. Johnson. Right there. And I hope so far that y'all are hanging. You got to hang in for this because I'm telling you, every bit of this is absolutely going somewhere. But if you miss these steps that Mr. Johnson's laying out, you're going to miss it. Now, you shouldn't, but these steps, this system is designed. This has been going on for ages. But now I'm telling you, they have fine-tuned this system and this program. And I'm here to tell you, there's not an attorney breathing that's not aware of this program I'm fixing to talk about. Y'all know what I'm going to talk about. And if you're not in on the deal and part of the association of this member of community members and law enforcement all working together, doing their part, then you must be complicit with what they're doing. And keep your mouth shut and stay on point. I don't know anything. I can't say anything, and that's it. If you dare to get off script, honey, they will bring all the forces of hell against you. And what I mean by that, we will begin with the Department of Justice. It's their program. The federal judges, prosecutors, and the agencies, whether it be FBI, DEA, ATF, etc. And then your state police, your sheriff's department, and your chief of police. That is the deal. And so when his attorney started going back and forth with the coroner, and who knows what they talked about. And of course, you'll never get, you might one of these days, and after this deal's over, folks, I'm telling you, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that these people, especially these members of law enforcement, judges, and prosecutors, get everything they've got coming. We're going to expose them. He has no business practicing law. So he betrayed the trust that he took an oath to uphold. That attorney did. And this thing continues. And so you're starting to see, and folks, it's a bad feeling when you wake up one day. You know what the world is like. You know how it is, and people, people just dismiss it. Well, there's some people that still stuck in their old ways. Some people that don't do the job right and all that. And I work hard, and I pay my bills and taxes, and I'm fairly convinced that if something bad were to happen, that with all the laws in place and the agencies in place, law enforcement and so forth, I'm satisfied that something really bad happened to me or my family, they'd take care of it. Did you ever believe that prior to Kendrick passing away, Mr. Johnson?
That the law enforcement would take care of everything?
Somehow, that if something bad like that were to happen, that they would probably take care of it.
I never trust law enforcement.
Never
in my life.
But he knows now, for sure.
I know for sure now
that let me tell you, when you pick that phone up, ladies and gentlemen, and you dial 911, you are talking to the headquarters, I believe, of Satan himself. Okay.
You're right.
Let me tell you, this is, you've got, and it's got so many people out there. I support the blue. I back the blue. And I'm here to tell you, well, we need law enforcement, but I don't support the blue. I support the red, white, and blue. And equal protection for all Americans. That's why I support. And if you are targeting and marginalizing and dismissing and violating other citizens, honey, I don't support you. It's that simple. Okay, so the fix is in, folks. They found it in there. They give a story. That's BS. Then they get a group of the community members in there. I don't know why they let the Johnsons come in as attorney. I don't know who else came in for this community. Who are these members of the community? Well, let me tell you who they are. This is community-oriented policing 101. All right. They got, and a lot of people call it different names, stalking and perverts on wheels, whatever you call them. That's what they are. This is the Department of Justice initiative. It's trickled down and dripping in every city in this country. And it's dripping like gonorrhea, I promise you. And these are the people that decide that we want safe neighborhoods, don't we? That's their window wash. Want to protect their children. Yeah. We don't want drugs, people selling dope around. So no, don't want that. Well, that's what we're doing. So let's do what we're doing. No, that's what they're telling you. What they're not telling you is when someone is out of line, they'll put them on that list, and they will do things to discourage that behavior. That's their way of saying it. And you can be targeted for a million reasons. Now, the only caveat to that, I'm not necessarily convinced that Kendrick was a predetermined target at this time. But what I am convinced of, that whoever, very possibly it was, because there's been some other things that have not been substantiated. And, because there's two brothers at the school that are in this mix. They're white boys. And one of the brothers, supposedly, his girlfriend was also talking to Kendrick. I'm going to assume that she's white. And we've established that Kendrick is not white. And the other two boys are. Now, let me tell you, folks. They said, well, back 100 years ago, that had been a problem. It's not a problem now. Who are you fooling? Really? It's not a problem. They've got a very prominent and good standing an installation right there in Valdosta, Georgia. The White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Okay, that's right. For those that thinks that's just something of the past, I'm surrounded by right here in Mississippi, and they don't go around these hoods on like So this don't let that fool you. And they work with these community organizations and law enforcement. They love them because that's a throw off. Let's take it. It's the Klan that's doing it, or these people doing it, whatever. And so these two white boys claimed that but one of them claimed he was friends with Kendrick. I think they'd had a scuffle and all that, friends with him, all this stuff. All that's lies, okay? He wasn't friendly with them. And their daddy, I guess what he did for a living. He was an FBI agent. What? Okay. Now, y'all see how this is starting to smell? I see it. And the Johnson saw it. And now his remains are decomposed. Why would they do that? Because they are trying. They set the deal. They had the community members come in there. And those people, that gaggle, a clutch of criminals. First of all, every one of them needs to be arrested and charged in the death of Kendrick Johnson. I keep that open. Huh?
Can I come in and say this? Can I come in and say this?
Absolutely.
His organs
were gone.
What they never was decomposed. You take
had them in a refrigerator.
You take during his autopsy, right?
Yeah.
He takes the organs out one by one, right? She, in her report, she lists the organ. Each organ was at normal weight, and the organs were normal. So if you saying the organs is normal here, but you saying later on, well, let me say this. She said the organs were normal.
Right.
She said we got her on deposition.
Yeah.
She said she sent the organs back. The sheriff's department.
She sent the organs to the sheriff's department.
No. She sent the organ. All right, when she sent Kendrick's body back, right?
Right.
She had she said she testified in her deposition that she put all of Kendrick's organs inside of an evidence bag, the way they do, right?
Right.
Sometimes they'll put them in the cavities, and sometimes they'll put them in a bag, right?
Oh God. Okay.
She said in her deposition, she sent all of his internal organs back with Kendrick's body.
Okay.
All right, from the corner, from the GBI crime lab up in Macon, Georgia, Dry Branch, Georgia. From there to the front home, the organs between there, the organs went missing.
Imagine that.
So
they sent them through the Postal Service, FedEx, UPS. Who was it?
Yeah.
We don't know.
So if she's saying she sent them back, the front home say he didn't get them. So why didn't the sheriff department launch a full investigation and what happened to his
they
organs
done their
and what happened
investigation.
to his
That's
clothes.
fine.
They,
They ain't no
they, they,
investigation. That's their.
they tell the family. They tell the family. They tell the family they can't launch an investigation because they can't launch an investigation against the GBI. Bullshit.
Well, what they do, how that works, is FBI very seldom will work off of anything from a citizen to directly to FBI. Oh, they hung up on this chain of command BS. And so they like the chain of command. So the way it works most of the time is the sheriff or the state will ask for a referral, refer it to the FBI, ask them, and they wait for that invitation. When you call the FBI directly and you tell them there's something rotten in the Denmark here, and the sheriff and all that, they just kind of buck up at that because in their mind, you're circumventing the chain of command. And you're trying to report the chain of command. And they're not trying to hear it. So it's all, folks, I'm going to tell you, it's screwed up. It's rigged, okay? The deal is rigged.
Yeah.
When you're absolutely right. When you're a victim and you pick that phone up and you call local, state, or federal, it's the fox guarding the hen house that you're talking to. Okay?
You're absolutely right.
That. If you don't believe anything, that's just sure the sun's going to come up in the morning, honey. That's the fox guarding the hen house. It's their program. They fully know what's going on, but the stakes, Mr. Johnson, are extremely high always. And in this case, folks, let me tell you, in this case right here, I absolutely believe that Kendrick Johnson's murder is a game changer nationwide. It's a game changer. The Johnsons have spent 12 years covering the bases of these criminals, and they've seen it. The stories, and it includes judges, lawyers, law enforcement, other members of the community, including the coroner, and on and on and on. And it's not something that this did not happen overnight. There is a well-established chain of corruption, ladies and gentlemen, right here before you. Not just something, just a mistake was made somewhere down the line. That's bullshit. The mistake was this. The mistake was this. Is when his mother called and reported Kendrick missing. Let me tell you what, folks.
The jig was up. The jig
was already up. I don't know if dispatch or the people at 911 what they're privy to, but they're privy because they're working together. Ladies and gentlemen, they already knew they was going to get that call. That deal was already in the works. This didn't happen and say, "Oh God, we got to play it up." Hell, they knew when it happened. They knew when it happened. They knew the call was coming. They already had the story. That's when that started. And they found him quick, didn't they? I mean, that's quick. If they didn't know anything about it, how in the hell would they know to go up, look down in them holes? They wouldn't have.
And let me say this: the 911 call when they found Kendrick, the coach or whoever he was in there, he said a student had went into cardiac arrest. If he was already dead, how the hell did he go in cardiac arrest?
Because they done been given the story. They already had the story. I mean, look,
and not only
get stuff up, folks.
And not only that, who finds Kendrick?
Do what?
Who supposedly
had? They ain't told you who found him. Of course they did.
No, yes they have. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. I done brought it up to them. I have brought up to the sheriff office many a time.
Yep.
I say, why was the superintendent's daughter? Why was his daughters even in the gym in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
His daughter allegedly pulled out a fountain. Why was they there
A
when
controlled,
they even
controlled
supposed to be
narrative.
in the
That's
gym?
why.
Controlled and everything,
Yeah,
and
you
they already knew.
That phone, your connection's freezing up a little bit. I don't know if you can hear me. So we're waiting for his connection to come back in. Folks, let me tell you, our connection prior to we had 15, 20 minutes to conversate while he got his rig parked and all that. And you couldn't ask for a better connection. And so as we get on here and we start talking about what we're talking about, you see exactly what happens. Okay. Now this is there it is. We lost it. And so while I'm gonna excuse me, I'm going to see if I can get him to attempt to reconnect. I know what happened. It's go back in your email and click that link again and see if it'll bring you back in.
It won't, I just tried it. It won't let me. It say my phone started getting real hot. For some reason, my phone never got hot.
I'm telling you, I know exactly why. We are talking about the wrong thing. I'm telling you. I've just told everybody what the deal is.
Yeah, I just tried. It won't let me back on. It won't let me back on.
Okay, well, let's see.
My phone won't even go back on to it. See, I can't get back on there because my phone is too hot.
You're kidding. Hey, you got the air conditioner on in there?
Yeah, I got that on.
And so do this. I'm going to send you a new invite and go ahead and restart your phone. Do a restart and let your phone come back on, and then check your email and click that new link and see if that does it. I'm gonna keep on recording here for a few minutes if we can get it done here in a few minutes, and we're gonna run with it. So I'm gonna do that. All right, folks. Let me tell you, this is absolutely the way it is. I don't know if y'all can still hear me or see me. My screen's changed. I'm a new link here. And I will promise you, folks, it has nothing to do with my connection, everything to do with them folks. All right. And if thanks to Homeland Security Fusion Centers and FBI, we're having this problem. You say, you think you're in a free country until you start treading on the deep state and these criminals. All right, I've sent him a new link. And these criminals with badges, and when you start talking about the things they don't want you talking about, this is what happens. They'll do everything. And I'm telling you, I told a couple of people yesterday, I said, I'm getting ready to do a story on an individual that I was made aware of it only 5 or 6 months ago. And folks, I'm inundated with information overload from coast to coast. I spend from the time I get up until I go to bed, and sometimes it seems like that never gets to happen. Reading, studying, listening to family members, and folks, it is it's overwhelming. If God wasn't in it, I'd been out a long time ago. But I told a couple of people yesterday. So I looked first. I said, the person told me about it. I said, I saw that, but I just really, everybody in the world's covered it. Blah, 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 blah. you know, God puts things in front of you. We step around them a lot of times. We step around. We'll ask God, show me this, give me that. He'll send it and show you. And you'll say, I ain't got time for that. I'm waiting on God to send me something. And so I get it again, but I get it this time in a message that Mr. Johnson, that Kenneth Johnson had agreed to talk to me. I didn't know Kenneth Johnson was. I agreed to talk to me. I didn't remember trying to get Kenneth Johnson to agree to talk to me. I know what she's talking about. It went on to say, he is the father of Kendrick Johnson. And I remember that. So I said, okay, let me jump back in this and see what I'm missing here. And folks, let me tell you, I didn't have to jump in, but 10 minutes. And it hit me like a ton of bricks, the proverbial a ton of bricks. Then I started reading and listening, and there's been a lot of coverage. I said, there's a whole lot of people saying a whole lot of things. There ain't none of them talking about what is really going on. So for those that wants to know what's really going on, I'm telling you that you're seeing it unfold here in real time, what's really going on. I imagine all the interviews that the Johnsons have done, they have not had this problem. Okay? Because they're not about to tread on these serpents of evil in this country. But, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking and listening to an individual that will and does. Maybe because I ain't got better sense. I don't know better. I'm going to tell you, folks. I don't run from this. I gravitate towards it. That's the reason that we have the problems we have in America today, is for those that have become complicit and have remained silent. Because your silence is simply consent. And you too are part of the problem. It requires a backbone, ladies and gentlemen, not a wishbone. And God will raise people up, and the truth will come out. Now, he talked to Balaam through a jackass, and if he do that, then so be it. He can use me. That's my protection. If God be for you, who can be against you? Who? Nobody. I'm going to expose the devil and his works. And I'm telling you, folks, it's a messy job when you get out into it, because yours truly, I can't tell you how many times they've thrown me in jail, wrongful convictions, and everything under the sun. They've tried it, but I'm still here. I'm going to stay here. Not going to shut up. Back up. Crawl under a rock. Give in. Let up. Compromise. None of that. Not going to do it. And I don't care what it takes. Right here at USAGSA, Kenneth Johnson is going to tell his story. Okay? If I don't care how many times they try to stop it, he's going to tell his story. So what I'm going to do, stay with me here, because I have no idea what's going to happen next, if he's going to be able to get on there. The phone started heating up. Now, folks, our whole infrastructure, especially our digital network is controlled, monitored, thanks to the CIA, the FBI, and these Homeland Security fusion centers. They control it. The fact is, there's no such thing as a private text message, email, phone conversation. Our government has 3 buildings nearly with 1 million square feet that house hard drives for this data they're collecting in case they need it. That's where it is. It's not just disappeared somewhere into an abyss. And when they dial you up, they got everything, including what you bought at the grocery store today, and what size jar of mayonnaise you bought, and the brand, how you paid for it, and the whole 9 yards. Nothing's private. The Privacy Act, that's window dressing. The Constitution, really? These people in office, these sheriffs, put their hand on a Bible they hadn't read, swear an oath to a God they don't believe in, to a Constitution to protect the Constitution they think is a piece of garbage. These are the people we're going to keep exposing. And these criminals, you take that oath and you abandon that oath and you violate that, you are an enemy of the state. You have no integrity. And when I get wind of it, you will be exposed. Now, those people that put you in office, they may still be drinking the Kool-Aid of deceit. And they said, well, wasn't fully aware, but be fully aware of this. Community-oriented policing, the COPS program, it's on the DOJ website, working together with these other programs as a throw-off. National Sheriff's Association, Neighborhood Watch, all those things are in play in Valdosta, Georgia. Now, whether Kendrick Johnson was targeted initially, he's absolutely was on the hit list when he was murdered. So I'm going to say he was targeted, and that was the deal. And which means, by proxy, it includes his immediate family. They will do everything to control the narrative. And it's in every community. I see it right here in North Mississippi. They've got these mobs of pathetic staging up and color harassment and with their cars and street theater, and they move people around, watch it, pay their rent, eavesdropping. We call that ear hustling and eyeballing, peeping toms. I had a man at 2 o'clock in the morning looking at my windows. That works for them. I'm gonna leave that story alone because that's a whole other story that's gonna locally where I'm living. We're gonna have a roast of these local law enforcement celebrities and pillars of the community. I'm gonna expose them for the criminal, pervert, pathetic morons that they are. And they know it. And they're full court press on getting me out of the equation before that happens. So they've got all the force of the federal government and our tax dollars, and their deal, the way they're going to do it. Everything else, they're going to deny it. They're crazy. They're psychotic. They don't understand it. And they will dismiss, lie, and they'll do it. That's what they're trying to do. But I'm going to tell you, folks, now people not, they only going to buy so much of the bullshit. And tides is turning on the bullshit factor with community oriented, or as I refer to, community orgasmic policing. At Valdosta, now you've got a community mob that was brought in to help them visualize the crime scene. Y'all heard that. What? Are y'all hearing me? Yeah. Why don't we get somebody to do something about it? That's the problem, folks. That's why they're keeping this deal under wraps. They've got their false narratives. You got fake groups all over Facebook, social media, and got people chasing things. Man, these people are crazy. They think somebody's watching them. They think they got microchips in their earlobes. You don't hear this old boy talking about that crap. I just won't get on the program of the Jim Jones Kool-Aid with them. I'm not going to. I wasn't sent here. I wasn't put on this earth to be an enemy of the state and someone that is complicit with betraying another human being. You got fake churches, fake Christians, and folks, let me tell you, it is a major problem. We're going to expose this crap. I don't care how many times they kill the connection. And so I'm going to pause everything right now. This may be it for today, folks. If it is it for the day, let me assure you, this will be titled part one, or it won't be. The next one will be part two. You won't see part one on this. That I'll have people be living part two, and part two won't be there yet. I'm going to go ahead and publish this. I'm sure they think that they have scuttled the whole deal by cutting his deal off. But they hadn't. No, they hadn't. It don't matter. It don't matter. Okay. They cannot stop the truth. I refuse to do it. I'm not going to do it. And God is in it. And they cannot, let me tell you, they can't beat those odds. Because, folks, I and the Johnsons on the right side of this battle. That's the reason I'm still here. That's the reason the Johnsons are still, and that's the reason they're talking about it today. Now, you couldn't possibly have me believe that the other side of this battle, the people we're talking about, are also godly people. God doesn't work both sides of the fence. Now, you fake preacher might try to make you believe that, but he don't. That's a lie from the pits of hell. That lets you know what God, you're on the right side of the battle, and God's in it, honey. The world don't stand a chance. The devil ain't got a chance. He knows he ain't got a chance. I've read the back of the book. He's read the back, but he knows the deal. He knows what the deal is, and that's the deal. So I'm going to end this segment. It might come back on it, and it'll be on one broadcast. I just don't know. I have no idea. We're going to end it now. So if we don't continue the broadcast for today, God bless you. Keep us in your prayers. And you rest assured, we are going to tell this story. And we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. We're going to get these dirty secrets out. We're going to expose these tyrants and these pathetic criminals, starting in Valdosta, Lowndes County, Georgia. Okay. And I'm telling you, not running from it. We're going to walk up in it and stomp around in it, wade up in it, how it has to be done. That's the deal. It's on Lowndes County, and the rest of you criminals with badges and these closet queer mafia, FBI, and the rest of you. You know change is coming. So you try to suppress. I know you hate free speech. You hate the Constitution, that First Amendment. Get used to it. Okay, you have to put a bullet right there between my eyes, and you shut this old boy down. But you will not stop righteousness. He won't stop God's work, period. So, till next time, folks, God bless you.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon, fuel to the